Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone, and you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. 1 hour of commercial-free podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome back to the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. After a week away due to work and my cousin's wedding, I am back with the crew, Matt and T-Gods. Obviously, Q is not here, so unfortunately, we will not be doing trivia, but he should be back tomorrow for some trivia. Today, we're going to recap all things Week 9, doing some calm or chaos, trust or bust, buy low, sell high, and some waiver targets. And as always, we'll try to answer any questions here in the chat, so feel free to drop any questions throughout the episode. We will get to them as soon as we can. Missed it last week. Happy to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Q filled in quite nicely, though. So
he did.
Let's get to some calm or chaos, shall we? Some calm.
We shall.
Chaos, starting at the quarterback position, Justin Herbert, 14.1 points, 30 of 43, 245 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Calm or chaos for Herbo?
Chaos.
Chaos.
Okay. I think I'm staying patient on Herbert. I can't give up on him just now.
All right,
they need healthy receivers.
They need Keenan and Mike Will.
Yeah,
he needs them to be good.
He needs them bad. He's suffering without them.
He is definitely suffering. I'm hoping he can get them back sooner. I think I'd honestly target trading for Justin Herbert at this point, if you could. I'll talk a bit more about that later. If you're like a team that's winning but needs an upgraded quarterback, he's definitely a target right now. Survive a couple weeks and he'll be good. But yeah, as of right now, if you're a losing team, I think it's leaning towards chaos because it's going to be definitely a couple more weeks without Mike Williams. And Keenan Allen has still been dealing with this frustrating hamstring injury. So don't know what to do with him at this point. But I think you just got to rock out with Herbert if you are stuck with him and you can't really make a move. Tough John to swallow. Musty, Justin Fields, number 1 passer. We will definitely talk about Justin Fields later. Definitely. All right, let's move on to some running backs. Donta Foreman, 4.1 points, 7 carries for 23 yards, 2 catches on 3 targets for -2 yards. Calm or chaos?
Matt, what happened?
The Panthers' offense just looked horrible.
Brutal.
There was nothing that was working for him. I can't pin that all on Donta Foreman. It is a little nerve-wracking that Chuba said he could return on Thursday, so that might cut into some of his production. But I do still think Donta Foreman's the number 1 on that team. So I'm not panicking just yet. But if I see a repeat of this come this week, I will definitely be a little chaotic about it.
Yeah. I think I'm leaning towards staying calm as well for now. I think the Panthers are just going to be up and down, so I don't think you're going to get elite Foreman every single week. But when they are able to get him the ball, I think he's going to do a lot with it. So staying calm on Foreman for now.
Yep.
Maybe not so calm for David Montgomery, 5.4 points, 14 carries for 36 yards. Caught 1 of his 2 targets for 8 yards and still splitting a lot of this work with Khalil Herbert. So calm or chaos for Montgomery?
Chaos.
I mean, you like the 14 carries, but the 36 yards, no good.
No bueno.
No good.
Touchdowns.
But that whole game was just weird, dude. Tell me it wasn't.
Yeah, it was a weird game.
Justin Fields elite.
He
took over.
He's the RB1 on that team.
He might be now.
It's ridiculous.
His rushing yards have been crazy too. I know we'll get into it later, but like he's been next level. Khalil Herbert was kind of seemed like almost the better running back the last 2 weeks. Montgomery finally gets the work back in his favor, but still didn't do much with it. So
Justin Fields decides to run for 70 some yards.
yeah,
Too many yards.
Ridiculous.
I think you have to start him probably just for volume, but at best a low end RB2.
The volume really isn't even there anymore. Like 14 carries is not RB1 type volume.
I mean, he's had at least 15 touches and played at least 70% of the snaps in 4 of the last 5 games. So,
but he's only broken 10 fantasy points, 3 times this year?
Yes, 3 times. So
it's a bad job.
I mean, he did miss basically 2 games, but still, yeah, up and down. It's chaos for Montgomery. It's not been the same that we were hoping to see this season. Brian Robinson, 5.8 points, 13 carries for 44 yards, caught both of his targets for -6 yards. Calm or chaos for the Commanders running back?
Chaos.
Yep.
At least he finally got 2 targets, though. I mean, he was like irrelevant in the passing game completely up until this point. But even then, Commanders aren't going to be up in many games. They're not going to be looking to run the ball. Even if he is the number 1, it's going to be hard for him to find production unless he falls face first into the end zone, as Sean likes to say.
I completely agree. I think the carries have been relatively decent for Robinson most games. 17-20. 2 weeks ago against the Colts, he had only 8 carries. That was his worst game, only 25% of the snaps, but got back up to 44% and 13 carries. Like, it's okay. It's like bye-week fill-in numbers at best. Like you can't trust it. And even Gibson didn't play well in this game either. So Commanders running backs are inconsistent. Not with it right now.
They should just run Curtis Samuel.
They should. He was used as a running back effectively in the past. So you never know. Maybe they'll switch up. All right, let's do some quick hold or fold for some running backs. Cam Akers, 0.3 points. Just got back. Only played 19% of the snaps, though. Holding or folding?
Easily folding.
Don't want him. He should be on waivers.
Fold.
Yeah, you're only holding him for his name at this point. I would probably lean towards folding if there's something better out there. There's a lot of stuff. Isaiah Pacheco, 1.9 points, announced as the starter 2 weeks ago. Did start this game as well, but still playing 30% of the snaps or fewer and doing pretty much nothing with them.
Waivers.
Jerick McKinnon should be the starter. That backfield is way too crowded.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place, and Pacheco really has not done anything since that week 1 game where he found the end zone, so fold as well. And one more running back here, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his teammate, 2.9 points. His snap share the last 4 weeks, 43%, 42%, 27%, 17% last game.
Fold him like a lawn chair.
Do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at you for dropping Clyde, but just from the production early on in the season, I'm probably just holding on my bench just in case.
Yep.
But if you had to drop him, I wouldn't be mad at you because he has been that bad. All right, let's go back to Calm or Chaos with some wide receivers, starting with Devin Duvernay. 1.5 points, 1 catch on 1 target for 5 yards, even with Bateman out.
Bateman and Mark Andrews out.
And
how does he only get 1 target?
Don't know.
He probably can't get open.
I mean, thank God he did. I'm not complaining, but that shit is crazy. But I think I'm still holding. Well, no, I'm calm. Forgot we were done hold or fold, but I'm calm on Devin Duvernay. He's shown flashes in earlier in the season to where I feel like if he had this opportunity again, he would definitely have a lot more than 1 catch for 5 yards.
Chaos.
100%
chaos. 100%.
He's wide receiver 35 on the season somehow, but I think he's like somehow a touchdown dependent wide receiver.
Yep.
Tyler Lockett, bull.
Stop hating on Lockett. Lockett has been so consistent this year.
All right, past Tyler Lockett.
Past Tyler Lockett, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just been so hit or miss and not consistent. I'm just not rocking with him right now. Duvernay, chaos. Question from Musty. Is Geno a good replacement for Joe Burrow this week, or should I trade or pick up someone else? I'd rock with
Geno's
Geno.
fine.
Geno's been
I like Geno.
Gino's been rock solid this year. He's been so consistent. Even in this matchup this week, I think he should be just fine against the Bucs. He's going to have to throw, lock him in.
Yep.
Should be a safe bet for around 20 points. He's QB 8 on the season. Like, he's been good.
Start him.
Start him with confidence. All right, continuing with wide receivers, Devonta Smith, 4.2 points. Caught both of his targets for only 22 yards, and he now has 4 games this season with 15-plus points and 4 games with 7 or fewer points. Calm or chaos?
Chaos. I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's like the definition of chaos right there. It's just he blows up or he.
Yeah, he's boom or bust, and you unfortunately are probably stuck starting him. Most weeks, the volume's been there, even when he has busted. Like last week, he had only 7 points, but he did have 8 targets. But the volume was disappeared this week against the Texans. They weren't looking his way. 2 catches on 2 targets, but the Texans are one of the top 3 defenses against wide receivers, shockingly.
Wow.
So tough matchup for him in general. He gets the Commanders this week, where he had 30 points against them last week. So if he struggles this week, then I'll go full chaos. But I'm rocking calm right now.
For now. The Eagles are also like a good offense. They can get up on these teams that they're playing, and everybody knows we don't mind running the shit out of the football.
Yep. So, yeah. Just need him to get involved early, and he shall be fine. Next one, DJ Moore, 4.4 points, 2 catches on 6 targets for 24 yards. This was a disaster for the Panthers from the start. Calm or chaos?
I don't even know at this point.
Boomer bust.
Literally boomer bust.
Like before this game, for the last 5 games, he had 10 points. The last 2 games, he had at least 19 points. So like he was looking very consistent. He had at least 7 targets in each of those 5 games. He does still get 6 targets, but PJ Walker started off atrocious, gets benched for, unfortunately, Baker. And we know how DJ Moore looked with Baker earlier in the season. They did say PJ is starting again, but he obviously has a short leash now too. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not fully chaotic. I'm not fully calm. I'm just like nervous, I guess. I don't know.
Based on previous events, I'm going to say chaos.
Yep.
I respect it for sure. Michael Pittman, 5.2 points, 3 catches on 6 targets. Calm or chaos here. Only 22 yards as well.
Chaos. 100%. You just got to hope that Jeff Saturday?
Yeah.
Hope that he comes in there and changes something up.
Yeah. He's been a bit up and down. He's obviously had some huge games. He's had the volume consistently. He's had at least 6 targets in every single game. But the new quarterback, he's obviously not been the same that he was with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan obviously gave him a little bit more upside. But right now, like you just said, pity stinky.
Stinky.
Not wrong.
Me and Q just traded Pity and CBS to get DK.
Yeah. That's a good move, actually. I don't hate that. I mean, I'm a Pity stan, so like I still have faith, but Ellinger is not helping. Ellinger, however you say it. Not
Shout
helping.
Out to Dave for that pronunciation.
Yeah. Got some people in the chat. Geek, the GOAT.
What's up, Geek?
I'm so pit sweaty on Pittman right now in my home league. Yes, I am the same. I've been locked in. What's up, Sam? We got a lot of fans in the chat. We are going to keep it rolling here. What do we got next? Gabe Davis, 5.3 points, 2 catches on 5 targets for 33 yards. I might be fully chaos on Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
Chaos. The ultimate boom or bust candidate right there.
Yeah. We just talked about Smitty, but I think he's even more extreme of an example of boom or bust.
100%.
And more busts than booms this season as well. So
he's got 4
Josh
games
Allen
under 7 fantasy points.
Feeling good.
Just like Smitty.
Agreed, T-Gods. Josh Allen being a little banged up does make me a little nervous. So, yeah. A little bit nervous. I don't know what to do with Gabe Davis.
Very much nervous.
I might be benching him, and you might get hurt. You might get burned. He might drop 30 on your bench, but he is scary to start.
You
dropping some
Gabe
bars.
Davis glorified MVS.
Glorified MVS. Now that's it might be taking it a step too far.
I can't say I disagree with it.
So, yeah. Last wide receiver for Comber Chaos, Hunter Renfrow. 5.6 points, 3 catches on 4 targets for 26 yards. He now has 1 game this season with more than 10 points, which was week 2. And I think he only had 10.4 points or something. And he is wide receiver 89 on the season. He did miss 2 games, did have a bye, but still not putting up any numbers, even when healthy.
Give me Mac Hollins over him.
Yeah, at this point, before the season started, I should have took whatever I could have got from Vince for Hunter Renfrow. I had faith, but he has let me down every single week. Even when he had the 10.4 points, I was not happy with it.
Yeah, it's been rough going for Hunter Renfrow owners. If you're holding, just hold him on your bench until he does anything. I'm definitely more than willing to fold on Hunter Renfrow at this point. You can drop him.
100%.
Definitely droppable. Musty with another question. Should I try and upgrade and get a better wide receiver using DJ Moore, Gabe Davis, and Mike Evans? I'm still holding out hope on Mike Evans. He's been a bit inconsistent. I still think he's going to have better days ahead. If you can get better on DJ Moore, Gabe Davis, I would just wait for them to blow up and then trade them. Right now, their value's low. Both of them have been struggling. DJ Moore puts up another good game this Thursday. You might be able to move him next week. But
yeah.
You're not going to be able to get much for DJ Moore or Gabe Davis right now. You might be able to sell Mike Evans for the name, but I still think he's going to have better.
I'd hold on to Mike Evans.
Yeah. The touchdowns are coming as always. All right, tight ends. Tyler Higbee, 0 points, 0 catches on 1 target. He is now tight end 16 on the season after 5 straight weeks of at least 8.9 points to start the season. T-Gods, Calm or Chaos for your guy.
Chaos. He's not startable anymore. Literally, he's not startable.
He's not. Not until you see something again.
I have to start Dawson Knox this week.
Dawson could be nice.
Dawson could be all right, especially if Josh Allen's out. I kind of like the backup going for the tight end.
I do like that
safety
too.
blanket.
Safety blanket.
I do not hate that. As much as it sounds weird that Josh Allen being out would favor somebody, I think it would favor Dawson Knox the most out of anybody. Maybe Singletary as well.
Sorry. This is about Higbee. Higbee, put him on your bench. Just do it. Trust me. Don't fall for it.
Yeah. Even if I probably wouldn't drop him, but
no,
definitely put him on your bench. Do not start him.
Can't drop him with the way.
Not until you see it again. Yeah, agree with that as well. Welcome back to Calm or Chaos. Kyle Pitts, 4.7 points, 2 catches on 7 targets for 27 yards. This man is abysmal. I'm still Chaos.
Always Chaos. I don't care if he has a good game or not.
Yeah.
We need to make a agreement to never talk about him again or something.
Yeah.
It's pointless. He's always going to be here.
Unless it's 3 straight weeks
on a 50-yard bomb. He was so wide open, got over the top of the defense, and Mariota overthrew him like crazy. So he could have had it, but yeah, I'm not shocked.
Avoided being
Mariota,
here.
A quarterback, he's murdered Kyle Pitts. He had Drake London good for 3 weeks and now murdered him as well. I'm not starting any Falcons pass catcher aside from their running backs.
Nope.
All right, before we do some trust or bust and get a little bit more positive here, let's talk about today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest way to play fantasy football. You can get started now with their Week 10 Battle Royale contest, $50,000 to first place, $250,000 in prizes total. Football is always more fun with a few bucks in play, so check out their contests. Also have contests for baseball, basketball, hockey, although baseball is over now. So basketball and hockey at this point. And when you sign up, use our promo code SUPERFB, 100% deposit match up to $100. So if you deposit $100, you get another $100 matched free. And you can use our promo code SUPERFB for that, SUPERFB. You can play on the Underdog Fantasy app for iOS and Android, or sign up online at underdogfantasy.com. Check them out. Back to it. Trust or bust. Starting with the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Fields. 50.72 points against the Dolphins. 17-28 for 123 yards passing. Doesn't sound that good, but did throw 3 touchdowns. Also added 178 yards rushing and a touchdown on only 15 carries more rushing yards than Mike Vick ever had in an NFL game. Trust or bust?
Trust for now. I'll get into it later.
Ooh, for now.
For now.
I don't know, man. The rushing has been giving him such a solid floor. He's had at least 47 rushing yards in every game since week 3. And the last 4 games, he's had at least 60 rushing yards, and he has a rushing touchdown in each of the last 3 games. They finally are figuring out how to incorporate his legs into the offense, and he showed that he's been pretty consistent. 19 fantasy points over the last 5 weeks. I'm fully trusting Justin Fields right now.
Me too. I never thought I would say it ever.
Me either. I had hope for him for a while just because I liked his talent coming out of college, but like I was getting to the point where I was ready to give up. But I'm back in. He looks good. He's back.
He looks alive.
Yep. Tua Tagovailoa, 30.08 points, 21 to 30, 302 yards, and another 3 touchdowns. He's QB 11 on the season, and he did miss 2.5 games. Trust or bust? Fully buying in on Tua at this point?
Fully bought in on Tua.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Tyreek and Waddle are way too good. Tua always has that rushing floor as well. So, I mean, this Dolphins offense is looking dangerous right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would completely agree. I'm trusting Tua at this point. The passing offense is too good. He still is missing a few throws a game, like either like an easy dump off or like underthrowing the shit out of Tyreek or Waddle on a couple plays. But for the most part, he's getting the job done. They're winning football games. I'm locked in on Tua.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Gotta love it. Got to love it. I just lost the stream. Hold. System processing. All right, we're back. We are back. Running backs. Kenyon Drake, 24.9 points, 24 carries, 93 yards, scored twice, caught both of his targets for 16 yards on Monday Night Football. Trust or bust for Kenyon Drake?
Bust.
Man.
Bust?
Yeah.
I'm trusting.
They're on a bye week, and then people are coming back.
Coming back.
Gonna start.
I'm not scared.
And JK's coming back. Mark Andrews will be back.
Who knows when JK's coming back?
He'll be back 3 to 4 weeks.
I hope so. I need him. But until then, I am taking Kenyon Drake over Gus Edwards all day, every day.
Okay.
I think.
Sorry. Trust for like a week, maybe 2. Sorry.
Yeah, for now.
Still a believer in Gus.
I hate you.
He looked good when he was healthy. He looked all right. And he looked good last year when he was healthy. If he does, obviously he is not on the field. But if he does come back on the field, I do think he does take away some of Kenyon Drake. Plus, anytime I've ever trusted Kenyon Drake, he breaks my heart. So I'm not trusting until he does this for like 5 weeks in a row.
I hate that he's on a bye this week because I want to start him so bad.
Yeah.
Now would be the perfect time to start him, and then it's all just going to be ruined after the bye week.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to get a little bit muddy. Cordell Patterson, 18.3 points, 13 carries, 44 yards, scored twice, caught his lone target for 9 yards. Trust or bust?
That boy.
I'm not sure that I trust anyone more.
He
just scores. Him. He literally just puts
really
up
does.
Points.
I don't know if I can fully trust.
Why? There's no reason not to.
He has 4 touchdowns. Bro, he has 5 touchdowns in 5 games.
He gets them.
I know he gets them. He does. But when he doesn't, there's going to be nothing there.
But he will get them. He will get them, though.
Right.
I mean,
literally has 1 game without a touchdown that he's played in so far this season.
Yeah, but last season he had a bunch without games, and he had that solid receiving floor, and that floor is gone with Mariota.
Well, Mariota needs to learn how to dump it off. And
no, he doesn't. He doesn't do it. He doesn't. And
I'm
Algier is still playing a lot of the snaps.
Trusting heavy.
Love me some CPAT.
I need to see it a little bit more.
He almost murdered me this week.
Algier looked good too. He looked great as well. So I'm not fully bought in. I need to see it. I need to see him take over the backfield again. He only played 39% of the snaps.
And he had 18 points.
Yeah, because he had 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
Want to
bet if he scores 2 touchdowns this week?
No. I'll bet he scores 1. I'll bet he scores 1.
I bet he has over 15.
All right, I'll bet that.
$10. 10?
5 on it.
I'll put 10.
All right. Say less. Say
CPAT
less.
15 plus.
CPAT 14.9 or fewer.
Not happening.
We'll see. All right. Jeff Wilson, 16.2 points, 9 carries for 51 yards. Caught all 3 of his targets for 21 yards and caught a receiving touchdown. Basically took over the Miami backfield in his first game there. Trust or bust?
I don't know.
Bust.
I'm trusting.
Someone sway me
one
way or the
still
other.
Played 47% of the snaps and also found the end zone. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be all what's his face. I think this backfield's still a little crowded, so it's going to be hard to depict a number one week in and week out.
I think they were only relying on Mostert so much because they really liked him. Edmonds is now gone. So it's Mostert and Wilson's going to be the younger, healthier back. He looked more efficient. He looked better when he got the ball. I think they had the same amount of carries, and Wilson got double the amount of yards. I think they're both guys that Mike McDaniel's familiar with as well. So I don't know. I'm not fully sold yet. Obviously, we need to see more. It's been one game with the Dolphins, but we saw Jeff Wilson earlier this season look good, even with the Niners, like RB24 on the season right now in general. So he was already putting up numbers, goes to a new situation, still putting up numbers. He looks good. I can't take it away from him. So I think I'm trusting. If he's out there on waiver still somehow, like some people did drop him, please go pick him up. He's only owned in half of leagues, 50%.
Does Gator have any more trades left?
No.
Fuck.
He's done, sorry.
Need him to drop him.
He might. Raheem Blackshear, probably a name I did not expect to say this year. 15.3 points, 5 carries for 13 yards. Found the end zone. Caught all 4 of his targets for 40 yards for the Panthers. Trust or bust?
Not trusting.
Biggest bust ever.
No chance.
Yeah, I mean, he could maybe carve out a little bit more of a role, but with Hubbard coming back, I'm not believing it.
No way, Jose.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Not worth throwing
not worth.
Waiver bucks on him. Leave him on waivers, please. All right. Wide receivers, trust or bust. Starting with Christian Kirk, 21.6 points. Caught 8 of 9 passes, 76 yards, and a touchdown. His best game since week 2. I know we were talking about him being a little bit more inconsistent, but are we fully trusting again?
Nope.
Yes.
Do it again.
Do it again?
He's been so up and down all year. We literally gave up on him at one point. I am not jumping back on the Christian Kirk bandwagon.
He's wide receiver 10.
That's what I was about to ask. I was about to say, what wide receiver do you think he is on the season?
He's wide receiver 10.
Wide receiver 10.
That's how.
I mean, he hasn't had his bye, so obviously that gives him an extra week of points. But he also had a 2-point game. So if you count that as his bye, he's been putting up numbers. Obviously, the first 3 games were huge, and then he kind of came like pretty inconsistent. But last 3 games, the volume's still been there. 7+ targets in the last 3. They have to throw most games anyways. They're never owning these teams. So
how the fuck is he wide receiver 10?
I'm trusting.
All right. I guess
if you have Christian Kirk, you have to start him.
The rank swayed me.
His booms have been too boomy, too, to put him on the bench. And he's boomed more consistently than the guys like we were talking about earlier with Devonta Smith and Gabe Davis. So rock out Christian Kirk. Mecole Hardman, 19.9 points, 6 catches on 9 targets, 79 yards, found the end zone. This is his 4th straight game with 12+ points. Is this finally the Mecole Hardman breakout, or is he still a fraud?
Absolutely
still a fraud.
Trusting Mecole Hardman.
Ooh, okay. You're both on opposite ends of the spectrum.
I am.
Why aren't you
trusting? Fraud?
There's just too many people on the team.
But 4 weeks in a row of him being productive, and he saw his most targets this past week with everybody was there, and Kadarius Toney just came on the team.
Or he still barely plays more than 50% of the snaps.
But he makes do with what he gets.
Like he does, but touchdown dependent. And I'm not so confident in him, not as much as I'm in like Cordero Patterson getting his touchdowns. Like he's going to get his. Mecole's like not guaranteed to get his.
I'm with you guys because Mahomes spreads the ball around a ton. Juju's also been up and up the last few weeks. Kelsey's obviously going to get his.
Darius Toney might hop in there a little bit.
Tony's now there as well. He's just getting caught up to speed. They do still have Valdez-Scantling, but it feels like, if I had to guess, it feels like Hardman's kind of taking away those snaps from Scantling at this point. They're really not looking his way anymore. So it seems like he's taking on that type of role, but still, I think it's going to be an inconsistent role. He has been consistent, but the touchdowns have really helped him to be that consistent force. I don't know if they're going to continue this at this high of a rate. So I'm still leaning towards bust, but I mean, I think he's definitely worth owning, and I think he's in that boomer bust flex territory.
He'll prove you wrong.
We shall see.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson, 17.9 points, caught 8 balls on 9 targets for 92 yards. Back-to-back 17-plus point performances. Trust or bust?
I don't know. I don't know.
I really don't know on this one.
Like, I'm looking at his numbers, and everything is just all over the place. His targets are all over the place. His snap percentage all over the place. Points all everything is just scattered. I don't know. Hello?
What?
I'm
Hello?
trusting.
Oh, it sounded like your mic disconnected.
I know.
Maybe it did. I do think I'm trusting, though. Elijah Moore, he has been playing, but he's not really doing anything. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to be on this team at this point. Garrett Wilson has pretty much said, all right, if you don't want to play, I'm going to play, and I'm going to put up numbers. Since that's kind of happened, he's kind of taken over as the team's leading receiver, leading in targets. I'm rocking with him. Corey Davis also hasn't done anything, so he seems like the top pass catcher. Might not be consistent. It is the Jets, but the Jets are kind of legit. They've been in games. I'm rocking with them. Decent flex option.
Jets are spicy this year.
They are spicy. I mean, they beat the Bills. Come on. That's impressive.
That's insane. Eagles would never.
Eagles will. Why would you ever say that?
No, they wouldn't.
Oh, Eagles would. The Jets. I thought you said Eagles would never beat the Bills.
Oh, no. Yeah. We're going to beat the Bills.
I misunderstood.
In the Super Bowl.
I'm with it. All right. Darnell Mooney, 17.5 points, 7 of 8 targets, 43 yards, and a score. Trust or bust?
Fuck no, baby.
I hate Mooney. I hate him.
Stupid.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Dislike him highly.
I still like Mooney. He's a decent
I still like Mooney.
Shut up.
Sean.
Look, it ain't been pretty, but Justin Fields has been better, and since Justin Fields has been better, for the last three of the last 4 games, he's had 12 points. The volume's been up a bit more. He's been more involved. I don't love it. Claypool's now there. I'm not fully bought in, but if you need a flex, he's a decent option. I'd rather have Garrett Wilson like we just talked about. I'd rather have pretty much everyone I think we just talked about over Mooney. Agreed. Maybe not Hardman, but
I'd take Hardman.
He's definitely still a risky flex, but I'm trusted a little bit. He's starting to earn me back. He's starting to win me back. Just need to see it continue. All right, Curtis Samuel, 17.1 points, 3 of 4 for 65 yards and a tutty. Trust or bust?
Trust. This man has 2 games under 10 fantasy points. I don't know how he continues to do it, but he finds the production in whatever volume he's given, and he takes full advantage of it.
You have to trust. The volume's been down. The snap share has been slowly dwindling, but he's still just making it happen. I don't know how this keeps happening, but it keeps happening. So
because he gets these Debo run plays.
Right. And you would think that would make them want to play him more. So I don't understand why his snap share is going down.
Yeah. I mean, his targets were huge the first 5 games, and then the last 4, it was 5, 8, 4, 4. Like, he's not getting that same volume, but he's still putting up points. So I'm not complaining. I think you still roll him out there until he stops putting up points.
Not starting him this week. Not against the Birds. No, thank you.
True. Tough matchup. Rondale Moore, 14.9 points, 8 catches on 10 targets for 69 yards. He now has 4 out of his last 5 games with 10-plus points. Trust or bust?
Trust.
I guess trust. I mean, numbers aren't lying, so.
Yeah, and he's a number 2 on a Cardinals offense. Where their defense is so bad that they just let teams stay in games, so they're going to have to throw. I mean, D-Hop needs help, and Rondell looks like he is that wide receiver too ever since Hollywood got hurt.
Yep.
And he's literally like always on the field.
Always.
Yep.
Always.
This man lives on the field. He's been super involved. I'm trusting until Hollywood is back, which is probably another 2 to 3 weeks, if not more. So, yeah. Lock in with Rondell for the next couple of weeks. I'm assuming Hollywood might be coming back, probably targeting week 14 after their bye. So you might not be able to use him for the playoffs, but
at least you got him to make it there.
He's had 8 targets in 4 of the last 5 games. Guess which game I started him? The one game where he had 2 targets. Gotta love it.
Jackass.
Gotta love it. But you're trusting him.
Trust.
All right, last wide receiver, Terrace Marshall Jr., 14.3 points, 3 catches on 6 targets, 53 yards, and a tutty. 12-plus points in the last 2 games. Trust or bust?
Not trusting, but worth a scoop.
Worth a scoop. Definitely a good hold in Dynasty.
Yes. I agree with both. Scoop, don't start. Still not fully there, especially with the quarterback inconsistency. We've seen DJ Moore struggle. Don't be shocked if Terrace Marshall starts to struggle as well. All right, tight ends, before we do some waiver targets. Cole Kmet, 22 points, 5 catches on 6 targets for 41 yards and 2 touchdowns. This man did not score a single touchdown since week 13 of 2020 before the last 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, he now has 3. That is the NFL. That is football. Trust or bust?
Bust. That was his only game over 10 points.
Yeah, no. Odd game for everybody there.
I'm scooping.
Scoop.
Maybe not
scoop loving. Hold, not
scoop,
starting.
But not starting. Scoop, not start. Scoop, not start.
Mm-hmm. Scoop, don't start.
Yeah. Cade Otton, 17.8 points, 5 catches on 6 targets, 68 yards, and a score. After struggling last week, he bounced back. Trust or bust?
I don't know. And I'm not afraid to say it.
So many mouths to feed on that Bucks offense.
Yeah, no thanks for me. No thanks.
That's a no for me, dog.
I think he's also worth a scoop, but also not the most trustworthy start. I think he's a good tight end by week fill-in. He's got 10 points in 3 of the last 5. He's still been involved in the games he struggled in, but not great. He's all right.
Yeah.
He is.
He's a typical tight end.
Yep, typical tight end, by week fill-in tight end. If he scores, you're good. If he doesn't, you're bad. TJ Hawkinson, 16 points, caught all 9 of his targets for 70 yards with the Vikings. Are we trusting him as a tight end for the Vikings now?
You love 100%. To see it. 9 100%. Targets in his first game, caught all 9. That Vikings offense loves to throw. I'm trusting TJ Hawkinson completely.
Yep. I think I'm trusting him as well. Kirk has not been a huge tight end guy, but this might be the best tight end he's played with since Jordan Reed. Fortunately, my man's Irv Smith been inconsistent. So,
any Jordan Reed on the Viking? Oh no, that was the
talking about Kirk in general, man.
Sorry,
Commanders.
I remembered. It came back to me.
Going way back. He hasn't had that great of tight ends since. So, I guess Kyle Rudolph, but he was kind of at the end of his career with.
He was only good for one-handed touchdowns.
He's good for like 6 or 7 touchdowns a year, and they were impossible to predict when they were going to happen.
He would get like 3 of them in one game.
Yep. All right, waiver targets. Matt, start us off. Who is your waiver target this week?
The man you guys were hating on, Mecole Hardman. Like Sean said, he has at least 12 points in the last 4 games. He has just about 20 plus in the past 2. He only saw 12 targets through the first 4 games. Over the last 4 games, I believe he's added 10 to that, and he has 22 in the last 4 games. He has capitalized on his opportunities like we were just talking about. The only thing that I am scared of that you guys brought up is it was Tony's first game in the offense. He could easily get acclimated pretty quickly and start getting used a lot more, but I mean, the way Mecole Hardman's playing, I don't see how he's not owned in more than 48% of leagues.
Yeah, I completely agree. He has been hot. You have to scoop him up. You might not have to start him, but you have to scoop him up.
Got to scoop him up.
T-Gods, waiver target, we got.
We just talked about him, Terrace Marshall. easily just worth the scoop. Like the Panthers are going to be down in probably every game. They're going to have to throw. And I mean, the last 2 weeks he has 15 targets, 140 yards, and a touchdown. Like he's putting up solid numbers on a team that's going to be throw happy, and just worth the scoop. Worth the scoop.
I agree. And Robbie Anderson's gone, so his snap share has skyrocketed. So
bye, Wobby. Wobby hasn't done anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing with the Cards.
Island boy.
Sad. Hopefully he gets involved, but I do like Rondell Moore as well.
Doubtful.
Sorry, man. I got to rep Temple. It's my man.
Robbie stinks, though.
Yeah, he sucks.
Not even worth the rep. You might as well just make
Robbie
forget.
is a solid wide receiver for
disown Robbie Anderson.
Disown him.
And leave my man
Shun
alone.
him.
And PJ Walker.
They were great, bro. He's a quarterback.
Yeah, whatever. All right. My waiver target, not Temple related, Cole Kmet. Someone we already talked about as well, but seems like the Bears offense is back on track here. Their offensive coordinator, head coach, everyone's kind of getting on the same page at this point. And Justin Fields has looked a lot better. Their upcoming matchups include the Lions twice. They got the Jets, even though their defense has been a little bit better. They have the Falcons and the Packers. And the Packers have been brutal. Not too tough of a schedule. Not the best, not the worst. Some fantasy-friendly tight end matchups. So if you are someone who's had a struggling tight end, maybe Tyler Higbee, I wouldn't be afraid to pick up Cole Kmet. Give him a shot. Give him a shot. Throw him out there. You never know. All right, let's move on to buy low, sell high. We are, I think, approaching the trade deadline, probably maybe 2 weeks away now at this point, or 3 weeks away in most leagues. So it's time to continue trading. Matt, start us off. Who is your buy low and sell high?
Buy low, Chris Godwin. I feel like I've said this before, but I don't know how he is struggling to score more than like 14 or 15 fantasy points, seeing the target share that he is. He is double-digit targets in all but 2 weeks, including week 1 where he left early. It was the first drive he got hurt on. And but himself and Mike Evans, I see as the 1A, 1B on this passing attack. And with the reports coming out that Rachaad White may be cutting into more of Fournette's workload, I mean, Brady's already been throwing damn near 50 times a game, so that could go up even a little bit more. So, I mean, with this opportunity that Godwin's seeing, I see more big yardages coming later on in the season. The touchdowns are going to come. Just go get them, be patient, and be happy.
I like it. Sell high.
Sell high. The highest of highs. Justin Fields. We all just said to trust him. I said for now. He hasn't faced like truly any too tough of a defense so far this season. And in weeks 1 and 2 of the fantasy playoffs, he gets the Bills and the Birds, who both rank top 5 in points allowed, total yards allowed, passing yards allowed, and both top 7 in rushing yards allowed, which could cap his rushing ability as a quarterback. If you drafted Fields as your number 1, probably wasn't the best idea, so I'm sure you have somebody ahead of him. So if you have another top 10 guy instead of Fields, I would try and off Fields, get help wherever else you need it to get ready for the playoffs, and just rock out with whoever you took ahead of him.
What if you had Fields and Kirk Cousins?
I'm rocking with Burke Buzzins. Trade Fields.
Mid-Muzzins, man.
He has a good playoff schedule.
Okay. I respect that. Respect that ideology. What about Geno or Fields? Or Brady or Fields?
I'm taking Brady.
I don't know.
I might take Fields there, dude.
Brady has been utterly bad.
We've been saying Brady's going to heat up for like 8 weeks.
He's not heating up. Just face it. Like he's not.
He's 45 and divorced. He's not heating up.
He's not. He's so far down the decline.
He has 2 games above 20 points. I don't know.
That's a shame.
It is a shame.
It's no good.
Yeah, I'll probably go Fields over Brady.
But yeah, I do respect that thought process, especially if you do have one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
Like if you have a Herbert and Fields, I would easily try and dump off Fields, get something else.
Yeah, don't hate it. Question in the chat before T Gods gets to his. God offer Geno Smith and Dallas Goedert for Josh Allen in your fantasy league. Please, God, keep Josh Allen. Tell them all seriously to leave you alone. Even if Josh Allen is a bit banged up, I'm still taking Josh Allen all day, every day over them, unless you are like absolutely desperate at tight end. But even then, it's not worth it.
Love Dallas Goedert.
Yeah,
not that much.
Not that much.
Not that much.
No. You need more for Josh Allen. Not enough. T-Gods, buy low, sell high. What do we got?
Buy low. Everybody's going to hate it. That's fine. I'm buying low on like a super solid RB2. Najee Harris. I get it. Everybody's saying he sucks. Everybody compared to last year, he does suck. But he's still like a solid RB2. Like he still gets the 11 points at like most games. Like you just stick him in. He's like, don't look at it and like you'll get your 10, 11 points from. Like, no, but like you need a player like that. You need someone you need someone that can just get you like solid points. And like whoever owns them like is going to be mad at him. They're not going to want him. Like most likely they're just going to take whatever for Najee. So like, and you got to hope maybe they figure something out over the bye week. You never know. Maybe he could do something a little bit more.
Maybe they fire their offensive coordinator.
Hopefully.
Could do that as well. The offense has been struggling. So there have been rumors.
Can get Najee for like free probably right now. Like if like his owner drafted him like super early and like Matt, I'm not swinging Najee.
Yeah, he's telling you to buy low, but he's not selling low. I respect it. Somebody else might be selling low.
Someone might be selling low.
Not T-Gods. All right, sell high, T-Gods. Who we got?
Sell high. So like me and Matt talked about it earlier a little bit, got a little heated. Kenyon Drake, like, so he's on a bye week this week, so like you probably won't be able to sell him. And then the week after, like Gus will be back, and then a couple weeks later, JK will be back. So like if you can get anything for Kenyon right now, like do it. I'm not sure if you will. This might have been a bad sell high now that I'm kind of talking about it. But if you can get anything for Kenyon, like I would do that because like I just said, Gus will be back. JK will be back. Mark Andrews will be back. D-Jax is going to get worked in. Duvernay isn't going to get one target every week. Like these past couple weeks have been weird. Kenyon has been going off, but it's definitely not something that's going to keep up.
Yeah, completely agree. And it's tough with the buy, but if you can get something, get something.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like the J.K. Dobbins owner, although Matt is the J.K. owner. But
I know how to play fantasy. Stupid.
All right. Buy low for me is Justin Herbert. Find the Herbert owner in your league. See if you can get him at a discount if you're looking for a quarterback. He is QB 14 on the season. His owner may be a bit frustrated. He has not been the Justin Herbert of last season. They probably expected him to be a top 3 quarterback, and he has not been a top 3 quarterback. Keenan Allen should be back in the next couple of weeks, praying to the Lord that his hamstring somehow gets right. But Mike Williams should be back as well, and he's going to be throwing a ton in the fantasy playoffs. Go get Justin Herbert, especially if you're a playoff team. If you're sitting at 6-3 or 7-2 and your quarterback's struggling, if you can get Herbert, I'd go for it. Ride him out for a couple weeks, and the upside should come for the playoffs. Sell high, Cordarrelle Patterson. You guys may not agree, but 18 points looked great on the scorecard. It all looks great right now, but I think the floor has bottomed out. Saw 39% of the snaps. They might be easing him back in, but even the first few games, he was still only seeing about 60%. He had 52 catches last season. Through 4 healthy games this season, he has 5 catches, 8 targets, and 5 of those targets all came in week 1. The last 3 healthy games, he's had 1 target in each game. The passing floor is not there anymore. Mariota doesn't dump the ball off. Algier also playing well. He looked really good. I think it's going to be a 50-50 split. His value is not what it was last season, and some people still are on that boat. I would sell high now.
I love the buy low. It started out so good, and I just completely hated the sell high. Hated it. No, don't.
I'm not selling him. Don't sell him. He scores touchdowns.
All right. I respect it, but that's just my take.
Fair. It was a fair take.
All right. I think that's it because we don't have Q, sadly.
Jesus Christ, Q.
Geek Mill does say it is time to fire Matt Canada. Full reboot in Pittsburgh. I would like to see it. Obviously, you're not getting rid of Mike Tomlin. Get rid of what's around him. Starting with Matt Canada, the offense has looked abysmal.
Don't
see any other questions in the chat at this time. If you do have them, drop them quick. But that's a wrap. Is this going
to be Mike Tomlin's first losing season ever?
I think so. He was always 500. Last year, did they sneak to 9-8? I don't remember.
I think they did.
Q is currently still locked out of his house. That's why he's not here.
How has your phone not died yet? You've been locked out for like 4 hours.
Right.
Yeah, he's got just a portable charger. Bored out of his mind. Sorry, Q, that stinks. Hopefully you get back inside soon.
It's got to be cold out there by now.
Oh, it's definitely cold. It's cold out there at like 5 o'clock when I got home. All right. That's a wrap for the Week 9. Oh, Q has a charger on the patio. But that's a wrap for the Week 9 recap. We will be back tomorrow with our Week 10 preview. Make sure you use our promo code SUPERFB. If you're considering using Underdog Fantasy, don't forget. Also, Q will be back, so we will have trivia as well. If you're looking to get a jersey from your favorite player or team, we are a Fanatics partner. Check them out. The link in our bio. They always have sales going on for free shipping, sometimes up to 65% off. So check them out. Also, if you did not know, we are a part of the Olde City Sports Network. We have a ton of different sponsors with them, all in the Delco area. If you are around us, breweries, beef jerky, beard growth, more, a lot on there, a lot of cool stuff. oldcitysports.com. Link is also in our bio. If you're here with us live, hit the follow button on whatever you're watching, Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. We do have audio version of all of our podcasts as well, Spotify, Apple, and more if you want to check us out there. And of course, all social media, Super Fantasy Bros Podcast, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Look us up, Super Fantasy Bros. You will find us. See you guys tomorrow. That is a wrap. Peace.